That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Sony's got a little film coming called Spider-Man New Day.
Woo!
Of course, the last Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, came this close to joining the ultra-exclusive $2 billion club, but it made 1.9 something billion dollars. Huge hit, crowd pleaser, all that kind of stuff. When's the next Spider-Man movie coming? Well, it's coming. Now, we heard a while ago that it sounded like Mark Ruffalo may be joining the film and be in a kind of mentor role, which is interesting. I still haven't seen Ruffalo confirm that, but at least that's still kind of the whispers and the rumor. But now we know another Marvel character that's joining it, and it's not one that I would have expected. And it's official. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Jon Bernthal. Wrong screen. There we go. Jon Bernthal has appeared in several Marvel television series as the Stone Cold Vigilante known as the Punisher, even headlining his own series. Now, he's taking his guns to the big screen. Bernthal has joined Tom Holland in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is it Brand New Day? I thought it was just New Day.
Yeah, Brand New Day.
The latest Spider-Man movie from Sony and Marvel. Dustin Daniel Cretton, who of course did the magnificent job directing Shang-Chi, is directing the feature, which will shoot in England this summer and has a July 31st, 2026 release date as of now. Because originally, this movie was scheduled to come out after Avengers Doomsday, but now Avengers Doomsday has moved, and now Spider-Man is scheduled still to come out before Doomsday now, but whatever. We'll deal with that another time. The news here. We found out Jon Bernthal's Punisher, we all got excited, was getting a special, a one-shot special on Disney Plus.
Isn't that?
I mean, it's nice, but who cares? But Marvel's serious about this character because now he's going to be in Spider-Man. Okay, I'm surprised about this, but incredibly excited for two different reasons. Number one, I kind of felt like Disney was going to have a limited purposes for Punisher. Showing up in Daredevil was an obvious one. Giving him his special was nice, but I didn't really expect for them to use this character much more beyond that. Second reason this really surprises me. Punisher is a guy who murders a lot of people. And not in nice little quiet ways. He'll swear at them a lot, put a gun in their mouth, and then blow their heads out. It's not a normal Spider-Man kind of property you're going to do stuff like that in. Again, I'm not saying it's bad they're doing it. I'm just saying that's why it surprised me a bit to hear this, that you're going to have Punisher in a Spider-Man film. Now, obviously that means they're going to tone Punisher down a little bit because you're not going to have Punisher dropping 55 F-bombs and putting bullets through 55 guys' heads. They ain't going to do that. I'm sure they'll probably make him as edgy as they can, but still, we're going to get Punisher in this. So I have questions. One, is this kind of going to be a Spider-Man versus Punisher situation? Is Punisher hunting down Hulk? I don't know. And Spider-Man's got to try to help. I don't know. I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out. So I'm not sure what the Punisher is supposed to do against Banner, but still, is this going to be the most unlikely of team ups where Punisher and Spider-Man team up to take down somebody? Is Mark Ruffalo still a part of that equation? If so, that's a weird menage a trois. Hulk, Punisher, and Spider-Man ain't something I had on my bingo card.
I'd watch that though.
I would watch the hell out of it. And then another question. Okay, so obviously events of Thunderbolts and all that, they all ignore what's going on in Daredevil. But if Punisher shows up, is Spider-Man going, yeah, what's with Mayor Fisk doing all this stuff about vigilantes? Are they going to try to bring that over to the big screen? I thought they made it pretty clear. They were going to keep small screen stories to the small screen. Questions, Rob. I have questions. But still, questions regardless. This is pretty damn exciting. I love Jon Bernthal as Punisher. Not a lot of people talk about Punisher Season 2. I like Punisher Season 2 even more than Punisher Season 1. I loved him in that show. And I thought he was great in Daredevil. I'm excited about this, but it does seem a little weird, and I remain surprised. Rob, were you surprised when you heard about the Jon Bernthal? How do you feel about it? And do you have questions or do you have answers to any of the questions that I had? I don't know. How do you see it?
Well, one, I'm excited because I really like Jon Bernthal as an actor and as a person. Like when I see him do his podcasts, things like that.
He's such a good
He's
actor.
a really smart guy, and he's really dedicated to the craft of acting. He's had a lot of training. I think he's a really exciting character. I've always loved him. Hell, I loved him in The Wolf of Wall Street. You know, I've always loved him.
By the way, did you see The Accountant 2 yet?
Yes.
Oh, how good is he in The Accountant 2?
Great.
He's so good in that.
Just like the scene, like I love the scene in the bar when he's watching.
In the country western bar?
Yeah, the country
so good.
Where just the bemused expression on his face until things go down. He's great. He's great. But now this, look, I always loved in the comics, the Spider-Man Punisher team up, or when they were in a story together. I always just liked that. I think that what's going to be interesting about this is I think that Spider-Man and Punisher are probably going to be on opposite sides of the same case. They're going to end up somehow, and he's going to go gunning for Spider-Man. Classic comic book setup, where you have two heroes against one another. Maybe, I don't know if it's a Kraven's Last Hunt thing, because they ruin that idea. So let's make the Punisher Kraven in this scenario. And then so they're at odds. They realize they shouldn't be at odds, and then they team up to do whatever. But what I really like about this is after you've gone all cosmic with Doctor Strange and two other Spider-Mens and multiverse stuff, I like bringing this down. This says to me that this is going to be more of a street-level movie. And we haven't seen, I mean, Spider-Man from his inception in the MCU, the first thing we saw him do is meet Tony Stark. You know, and he suddenly is a faux Avenger, you know, and Stark's giving him armor, and he's working with the Avengers. We've never seen Spider-Man. I mean, obviously he has other movies, but he still had a mentor. And I like the idea that we've taken Spider-Man out of all of that, and we're going to see him work as a street-level character. Because I've always loved that, even in the Sam Raimi movies, like when he had to deliver pizzas, you know, and use his spider powers or whatever to just lead a normal life and not in the costume. And I think part of this movie has got to be Peter Parker reestablishing his own sense of identity in the world, because nobody knows him.
It's a brand new day.
It's a brand new day. So what's he going to do? And I think that's look, the promise of all this is exciting to me. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be good. I'm glad. Hopefully they'll pull back and make it a little bit more street level. I think that's only good for the character, because, you know, it's like when James Bond went into space in Moonraker. The next movie was For Your Eyes Only. Let's strip it down and make it more of a spy thriller, terrestrial. We'll have him on the street driving cars, you know, killing Cuban assassins. It's going to be great. And that's what they did. So I would like to see that. And I think it'll be really interesting if Punisher mentors Peter Parker in some way. Like maybe they meet, because I don't think the Punisher hasn't met Spider-Man.
No.
So he would be the first person, like,
But
revealing
is Frank a mentor kind of guy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but it could be something. The dynamic between them could be really interesting. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
I mean, look, because when you look at scenes, not just in the original Netflix series, like the infamous rooftop scene where he's got Daredevil, but also like in the new series on Disney Plus when they're in Frank's, you know, apartment and like having that stuff. Let me ask you this. One of the more interesting things this raises for me is, how do you handle Frank? Because every time we've seen Frank, he's incredibly vulgar, which I love. And he has very, very little apprehension about canceling individual subscriptions to life. It's like, oh, this guy, and blows his head off. How do you think they manage a character like that in a more family-friendly-ish Spider-Man title?
I think watching Spider-Man having to prevent Frank from doing that is hilarious. And I think that'll be a big part of whatever dynamic, because they're so opposite of one another, which makes the frisson between them wildly entertaining, you know. And if you look at the difference, what I really liked about, like, say, Shang-Chi, we got the director of Shang-Chi, was the interpersonal relationships between all the characters. And I really like that when Tony Leung shows up, when Wu shows up and showing the sister and Shang-Chi and Aquafina and all of how they had to interact with one another.
That was great.
Yeah, it was really great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, and you've got two opposite characters in Spider-Man and the Punisher, and putting them together. Well, that says big screen entertainment to me, John.
Yeah,
So
I am so excited about that. Again, I still have tons of questions about how you actually make it work.
Me too. I've no,
but I'm excited you're doing it regardless.
Yeah.
This could be a lot of fun. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Compounding on top of the reports and rumors going around that we may see Mark Ruffalo in this film, we now got it official. Jon Bernthal is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day as Punisher. How do you do that? I don't know, but I'm awfully looking forward to seeing how it is they decide to handle it. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.